To my family, I was always the black sheep, the screw-up, right? The one who is never going to amount to anything. Well, they were about to find out they messed with the wrong guy. And boy, was it going to cost them everything.
All right, so let's get right into it. This whole thing kicks off with a single phone call, a call that basically lit the fuse on a bomb that had been ticking for like a decade. The wedding planner, a woman named Chloe, calls our guy Elias, and you can just hear the panic in her voice. She'd just hung up with his mom, and the news, well, it was brutal.
Get this, Elias's family didn't just uninvite him from his own brother's wedding. A wedding that, by the way, he was paying for. Oh no, that wasn't enough. They went a step further. They told the planner to just keep the massive $160,000 deposit he'd paid. Just consider it a family gift. Can you believe that? They wanted his money, but they sure as hell didn't want him there.
So to really wrap your head around how insane this is, you got to understand this family. For 38 years, Elias was the disappointment, the blue-collar guy, the black sheep. But funny thing, whenever they needed cash, bam, he was suddenly their personal ATM. His brother, Marcus, though, total golden boy, the perfect lawyer, could do no wrong. What they didn't know, what they couldn't possibly imagine, was who Elias had really become.
So just picture it. Elias is on this noisy construction site, literally the hub of his secret empire, and his phone rings. It's Chloe, the planner, and she sounds absolutely terrified. She's stammering, trying to explain that his own mother, his mom, not only told her to cancel his invitation, but that the 160 grand was just gone, forfeited. They were literally trying to use his own money to throw a party he was banned from.
But here's the kicker. This is where it gets good. Chloe's panicking, right? She's like, I can't cancel the wedding. You're not the groom. And that's when Elias just calmly drops an absolute bombshell. He wasn't just the brother footing the bill. No. He owned the entire show. The venue, his. The catering company, his. The block of hotel rooms, yep, all his.
And you really have to stop and appreciate the level of arrogance here. That $160,000 they were trying to pocket, that was just 20% of the actual cost. Elias had given them a massive 80% family courtesy discount. The whole wedding was an $800,000 affair. They were trying to rob a king, and they had no idea he wasn't just some pawn in their game.
So you can guess what happened next. The fallout was, well, it was immediate and explosive. The golden boy, Marcus, gets on the phone and he is completely losing it. I mean, gone is the smooth, polished lawyer. He's just a screaming, panicked little kid whose favorite toy just got snatched away. He's just wailing about how Elias ruined his one perfect day.
And then, of course, Mom calls. And in her fury, she lets the real ugly reason slip out. The venom just drips from her words. It wasn't just about him being a construction worker. Oh no. Apparently, his brother's fiancée, Sarah, considered him, and this is a direct quote, a stain on this family's reputation.
A stain? I mean, what does that even mean? Elias always figured they were just embarrassed by his blue-collar job, that he was the son who actually worked with his hands. But this was something else. Their hate for him ran way deeper, and it was all tied to a dark secret they had all cooked up together 10 years earlier.
And that's when his mother delivers the final, brutal blow, the kill shot. She basically sneers into the phone that Sarah knows the truth about him. She knows about the felony from 10 years back. Think about that. She was using a lie that she helped create as a weapon against her own son.
Because here's the real story. Elias wasn't the criminal. Not even close. 10 years ago, it was the golden boy Marcus who got drunk, stole Elias's car, hit a guy, and just left him there. And to save Marcus's precious law career, their parents literally begged Elias to take the blame. And he did it. He took a felony for his brother, a charge that almost ruined his life. And now, that same family was using that sacrifice to call him a stain.
That was it. That was the line. They used his sacrifice against him? Fine. He was about to use their entire lives against them. You could almost feel that shame he'd been carrying for a decade just burn away. And what was left was just cold, hard focus. He was done being their punching bag. He was done being the scapegoat. So he picked up the phone and made a call to his lawyer.
So his lawyer starts digging. And what she uncovers is, you can't make this stuff up. It's the knockout punch. It's pure poetic justice. Turns out Marcus isn't just a criminal in the past. He's one right now. He is actively trying to bribe the exact same man he hit with the car 10 years ago, a guy named Mr. Henderson. And why? Because Henderson is blocking a huge real estate deal for his future father-in-law. The audacity is just, wow.
Okay, so now Elias has all the pieces. It's time to set the trap. He arranges this fancy private dinner at a 5-star restaurant. He invites his family, and he invites his brother's future in-laws, the powerful Thompson family. And they all think he's coming to beg for forgiveness. They have absolutely no clue they're walking straight into an ambush.
So, they're at dinner. And just as they're publicly shaming him, calling him a criminal to his face, Elias gives a little signal. The door to the private room opens, and in walks Mr. Henderson, the man from 10 years ago. The story says Marcus's face just went completely white. He literally dropped his fork, and the sound of it clattering on the plate just echoed through the dead silent room. So Elias just calmly lays out the truth. They, of course, call him a liar, so he pulls out his phone, and he plays what he calls a family heirloom. It's a recording from 10 years ago of his parents begging him to take the fall for Marcus. The room just stops. The whole lie just laid bare for everyone to see.
And that's when the room just explodes. Sarah's dad, Mr. Thompson, who is not a guy you want to mess with, realizes he's been played for an absolute fool. He spins on Marcus, his face just pure rage, and starts screaming at him. "You're a fraud! You're a goddamn coward!" Oh, but it doesn't stop there. Elias wasn't done yet. He then drops the other shoe. He reveals Marcus's current little scheme, the whole plot to bribe Mr. Henderson, using money from a joint account with Sarah. So this wasn't just about something that happened 10 years ago. This was happening right now.
And that was it, the final nail in Marcus's coffin. Mr. Thompson realizes his future son-in-law is a criminal who's been stealing from his daughter. He walks right up and slaps Marcus right across the face. He screams, "Cancel the wedding," and basically drags his entire family out of the restaurant, leaving Elias's family sitting in the smoking crater of their own making.
But Elias had one last little parting gift. He casually reminds his parents about the invoice, for the canceled wedding, the full undiscounted price. After everything, they still owed him $240,000, and it was due by Friday.
Fast forward 6 months, justice is served. Marcus, disbarred. His parents, they had to sell the family home to pay Elias back. And Elias, he's thriving. He's opening his brand new flagship hotel, and in a real class move, he hires Chloe, the planner who was honest with him, to run his entire events division.
What this whole thing really shows is that the ultimate revenge, it isn't just about payback. For Elias, the real power came from finally taking back his own story, his own truth, after living under their lies for a decade. He didn't just break the cycle, he shattered it.
When you really think about it, Elias didn't destroy his family. They were already destroyed. They were rotting from the inside out for years. All he did was turn on the lights. He just showed everyone what they really looked like.
It's such a powerful story, right? It's a reminder that you don't have to accept the role a toxic family tries to give you. Sometimes the only way out is to just let it all burn down. Which really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What would you do in his shoes?